Hey guys, welcome to Indulge with Dimples. I haven't did this in a while, but sing along. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey! Alright, welcome back to Indulge with Dimples. Today, we're going to be cooking what I eat in a week. So what I eat in a week is just something that I like to do because it's kind of like a meal prep situation, which it is. But today, we are cooking a hot, sweet salmon baked foil proof, and then we're gonna cook roasted radishes. Now I know you like radishes. It's a replacement of red potatoes. It's really good. Follow the recipe, you'll like it. You'll never go back to red potatoes or any type of potato because you will love these roasted potatoes. And on top of that, we're making creamy spinach. Creamy spinach is the bomb. So for the meal prep today, sweet and spicy salmon baked, roasted radishes, and creamy spinach. So follow me in the kitchen. Let's get to it. You're gonna like it, you're gonna love it, you're gonna enjoy it. Let's go. Alright guys, we're back in the kitchen and we're about to make the marinade for our salmon. So I'm gonna go down the list of ingredients that you need. Some stuff, if you don't have, you can substitute it with other things, but for the most part, you're gonna need these ingredients over and over again to cook this recipe. I have a pair of scissors here, or you can use kitchen scissors. These stay in the kitchen. I have a knife right here, and I have a little spatula and a little brush. I have a container for the marinade we're gonna put it in, and then we have the main ingredient, which is the salmon. So I bought this salmon from Aldi's, sorry. And it comes in a pack like this. I didn't want to get the big fresh one because that's too much fish for me, and I wanted to try what they have at their local store. So I got this, and they come in pre-freezer packed individual already, and they're pretty good for the most part. Pinkish, but you know, if you ever bought a fresh salmon, you know that the color is different, and this is not like the high grade of salmon. So it's cool, it's fine. I just defrost it, put it in a bowl, ice water, put it in the refrigerator, and they're ready to work with. For this recipe, you're gonna need some hot sauce or some sriracha sauce. I have hot sauce. I don't like the taste of sriracha sauce. You need 3 to 4 garlic, so I have some garlic right here. You need lemon juice. You can have the fresh or you can get the bottle. I have the bottle in hand. You're gonna need a little bit of olive oil spray, and you can get the fresh kind you pour. I have this right now because you're gonna see we need that for later. You need some type of smoked chili seasoning. I have this right here, but whatever chili seasoning that you prefer to use in your kitchen. You're gonna need a little sesame seed oil. This goes a long way. You're gonna need to buy this like once a year. I've had this about 1.5 years now. You need some soy sauce. I use light because once again I'm on a low carb, and we want to watch all our salt intake. And it's some pink Himalaya salt. It's better than the table salt. You need some paprika. You need a little bit of garlic powder if you do not have fresh garlic, but I love garlic. So this is minced garlic already, and you're gonna need some type of honey. I have raw honey. I would prefer you to get raw honey, or if you have like a market or a farmer's market, get the honey from them. It tastes better. The quality is way better than like somebody else's honey. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. So first things first, we're just gonna go ahead and open these individual packs up, and we're gonna layer. We're gonna pat them out dry and lay them out so they can be dry. And you just want to use a little napkin or paper towel so that you can get all the moisture out as possible. And then from there, I'm going to show you how we're going to go ahead and make this marinara sauce that you're going to have your fish sitting in. And the longer you have it sitting in, the more flavorful it is. But you can have it sitting in there for about 10 to 20 minutes. I'm going to have mine sitting there for about 20 minutes. Because I told you we have 2 more components that we have to cook for our side, which is creamy spinach and roasted radishes. If you never had a roasted radish, this is going to be your favorite meal. So let's get to draining these and getting them together. Hey guys, let's get right into it. Jump for this meal prep. I just patted out the salmon, put it on the side. You're going to need a bowl for this. And then I'm going to give you the measurements to all the ingredients we're using for our sauce. You're going to need some honey. I use 3 tablespoons, but if you're on the sweet side, you can use 4 tablespoons. Also, make sure you use a liquid measuring cup when you are using liquid ingredients. It gives you the best measurements instead of using the regular measuring cups because they're kind of off when you're using liquid. So I'm going to use light or low soy sauce because we're watching our intake on salt. And if you use a lot of salt in this recipe, it overpowers. You need some sesame seed oil. A little goes a long way. You need 2 tablespoons of that. I'm still using that liquid measuring cup. Pour that into our mixture. You're gonna need a couple dashes of hot sauce. I like red Frank's. If you like Tabasco or Sriracha, go ahead and pour that in there to your heat. I like 2 tablespoons. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of fresh mint garlic. I'm going to use some curry powder and some Himalayan salt, 1 tablespoon apiece. I'm going to also go ahead and use some smoked chili peppers. You can use whatever chili peppers you want. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of lime and lemon. I'm also going to go ahead and use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Just put that in there, and I'm going to mix my ingredients all together. When you get a nice flow, you just make sure that all the honey is mixed well. So that's going to give you a nice flow, a liquid flow. If it's still a little thick at the bottom, keep stirring up until you get a nice little flow. Afterwards, you want to find you a container that has a lid to it, or a bowl that has a lid to it. Something simple, easy. And you're going to actually go ahead and layer your fish in there and pour half of your mixture on top. Make sure you coat it. And then you want to go ahead and put the rest or the remaining of the fish on top and put the rest of the ingredients or sauce in the bowl and cover it up, which you see me doing right now. This is a very simple, easy recipe. You can adjust it to your taste buds. You can also taste the sauce before you even put it on your fish. So if you want it more sweet, use 4 tablespoons. If you want more heat, use Sriracha or Tabasco. I like Red Frank's or Frank Red Hot, however you want to say it. And that's how you do. Put it in the refrigerator. It takes up to 3 hours if you want a bold flavor, but I did mine for 45 minutes, which is really great. And then for the last maybe 5 to 10 minutes, take it out so it can be room temperature so you can be ready to put it in the foil and bake. Alright guys, so remember when we did the salmon probably like 30-40 minutes ago. I actually set it in there for an hour and the sides are complete, so I will show you that when it's time to put the meal together. But right now I'm going to take out the salmon from the fridge. And look, it's been marinating. It smells really good. So all we're going to do is just get a pan, put some aluminum foil inside the pan, and all you're going to do is just pick up the salmon and place it in the aluminum foil. You don't need to put anything down. If you want to, you can spray it with some olive oil, which I was telling you about earlier. But if you put olive oil inside of your mixture or your marinade, you don't have to worry about anything. But I'm just going to spray a little bit. And this is what I sprayed. So we're just going to take the pieces and we're going to gently pick them up and lay them on the foil. Now for the marinade that's on here or in here, you're not going to waste it because you're actually going to pour it right on top of the fish, and this is going to turn out even better. And I have room just for what I needed to put on here. That's lovely. Alright. So, for the rest of this marinade, you're not going to waste it. You're actually going to take it and brush it on top of the fish. Or you can pour it on top of it. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. You want your oven at 350 and you want to preheat it. And then have your oven come up to 350. You want to bake this for about 10 minutes and that's all. And when it comes out, it's going to smell delicious. It's going to have this sweet savory on there. It's gonna be delicious. So pour the rest of this on there, put it in the oven, and let's bake this off. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and make our sides for our main dish. So what we're about to do is roast radishes. If you never had a radish, it is like a substitute for a potato if you're on low carb or keto friendly meals, or you just watching what you eat. I think they are delicious and healthy. I want to say about a year ago I was test, trial, and error. And I was like, I haven't had a radish. I know my grandparents used to eat them, but the way they ate them, I didn't like them. So I said, let me give them another try. So you can get the radishes in a bag like this, or you can go ahead and get the radishes. They have the leafy part like this at the store. You can get them like that, or sometimes they just come in a bulk like this and just pick them up and weigh them. For me, convenience, they are in a bag. Now, a radish doesn't really have too much of a flavor. It looks like a red potato, but it's not. And I'm telling you, the way I'm about to show you how to cook these, you can fool everybody in the household. So sometimes the radishes have the green leaf. You cut it off, and then when you get done, it looks like this. You just want to wash it off. I actually went ahead and cut up some radishes and diced them in fours, like so. And I just have them in some water because I didn't want them to change colors or anything. They're kind of red. And I'm just going to show you how I'm going to cut them up. And then from there, I'm going to show you what we're going to actually do with these radishes to make the family, especially kids, love it. So I'm going to use some Kerrygold butter. I'm going to use about 2 to 3 tablespoons. I'm going to use some fresh garlic. But if you don't have fresh garlic, you can use garlic powder. I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil, just because I want it roasted and I want the buttery flavor. And I'm going to use a little bit of Italian seasoning. I think this makes it more flavorful for me. So let me go ahead and show you how we're going to dice these up, and then from there we're going to get this cooking. But the main ingredient that you really need, or the main thing that you need, is a cast iron skillet. That's how you're going to get that roasting flavor, because we're going to cook everything in here, or a Dutch oven, and then we're going to put it in the oven. And I'm telling you, these things are going to be delicious. People are going to think you had roasted potatoes, and you can add carrots to this or whatever, and it's still a hearty meal. So let's get the cooking. And you just want to cut them up in four like so. Alright, so I'm going to get to cut the rest of these up, and then we're going to go ahead and add our stuff to our pan. Alright, so I have a cast iron skillet, or you can use a Dutch oven. I prefer a cast iron skillet because we want that roasted flavor, or you can use whatever pot and pan that you have. So I had this preheating a little bit. My cast iron skillet is seasoned. When I say it's seasoned, it means that I have oiled it, baked it, so that it doesn't have any rust spots or anything in there. All you're going to do is just add 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, depending on how many radishes that you have going on. Don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. Then I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter, or whatever butter that you choose to use. Have your oven on medium to low, or your stove on medium to low, I'm sorry. And then you want to go ahead and add your radishes. They don't have any seasoning or anything into it. I just drain the water. I'm just going to pour them inside of my stir them around so that the butter and oil is on all of the radishes. Make sure no radish is on top of each other, so you should have enough space and room. Do not overcrowd the pan. And then you want to go ahead and add some Italian seasoning. Now I'm going to say 2 to 3 tablespoons. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder, because if you put your fresh garlic in it right now, it's going to burn and be bitter. So you don't want that. And I'm going to sprinkle some of my favorite Polo Asoto. I think I'm saying it right, maybe wrong, but I'm going to add just a little bit of this in there. And then I'm going to stir this up. I wish you could smell it because it smells delicious. Make sure all the seasoning is on the radishes. going to cut this up to medium high instead of medium low now. And I'm going to let this cook on the stove top for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to put the lid on there. And then from there, I want you to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. And we're going to let these finish off in the oven. This is a simple, easy meal. And when you come back, they should be brownish. And they should like roasted potatoes. You also can add some carrots in here at this time. But let them cook on the oven for about 10 minutes. Cook on the stove top for 10 minutes. Turn your oven on to 350. And from there, you're going to let them finish off. Alright guys, we're back with the second side that we're going to make today. And it's creamy spinach. So I'm going to give you a rundown of what you need for creamy spinach. You just need you a pot or a skillet. It really doesn't matter. I like to cook it in a pot because I don't have to do too much work. Once again, I'm going to use 2 to 3 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter. Or whatever butter you choose to use. You're going to need the main ingredient, spinach. You can get the fresh spinach or you can get the spinach in the bag. I get the spinach in the bag. So you can add mushrooms, which is optional, and you can add red onions, which is optional. I like to put them in there. It gives them more flavor or kick. If you're going to add them in there, just dice them up. You also need a pack of cream cheese. And optional, you can add a little bit of cheese to it, like any type of white cheese, Parmesan cheese, any type of cheese that you would like to add in there. It's up to you. I'm going to use one of my favorite seasonings that I always use. It gives a kick and a flavor. And I'm going to use some garlic powder, just a tad bit, because I have fresh garlic left over, and I'm going to add that in there. So have your oven on medium high. You're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter. You're going to saute your garlic and mushrooms first before you add your spinach in there. And this is just a half a cup of red onion. And about 3 button mushrooms. I'm going to saute them down first before I add my spinach in there. And I'm actually cooking 2 bags of spinach. I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of seasoning. I'm not going to add any salt yet because I want these to cook down first. And my seasoning here has a nice hint of salt, so you don't really need to add salt to your meals when you're cooking with that. And mushrooms have sweated down. I'm going to let them sweat down just a little bit more. If you want to crunch to them, this will be a good consistency, but I want them to sweat down just a tad bit more. And I only added 1 tablespoon of butter so far, so that's not a big deal, but I'm going to let this cook down just a little bit more. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and add a bag at a time. Now this looks like it's going to be a lot when you put it in here, but it's really not, because if you ever cooked any green leafy type of vegetables, it looks like a lot, like a bulk, but once you sweat it down and cook it, it's really small, so that's not bad. And if you're looking for a low carb meal, this is really good for you. For a cup and a half is only 20 calories, and total carbohydrates is 3, so this is not bad. I'm going to go ahead and add it back. And then I'm going to put the top on there. See what I'm talking about? It looks like it's a lot going on right now. It's really not. So just put the lid on there and let it steam, and then come back, and you just want to stir everything up from the bottom to the top. See guys, I took the lid off, and I am actually stirring up the spinach, and I told you, once it cooked down, it's practically not that much going on in here. And I went ahead and just added the other tablespoon of butter in here. And I'm going to go ahead and add the last bag, which is the second bag, to it. Alright guys, so I cut down the stove because, once again, remember, this is 2 bags. I put in there, I'm stirring it up. It's delicious, it's good. Well, I don't know if it's delicious or good, but the smell of it is. So at this time, you just want to give it a little taste. Get your little fork out and taste it. See if it's what you want it to be as far as seasoning. Okay, this is right on point. So I'm going to make a little well in the middle. I'm going to add just a tad bit more of this because I like this. So I'm just going to add a tad bit more. Okay? You don't have to, but I will. So the next thing you're going to do is add 4 ounces of cream cheese. And then you need some heavy whipping cream. You need about a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Or you can do an 1/8. It just depends on you. And I'm going to do a 1/4 cup. This is what's going to make this creamy. So I'm just going to do an 1/8 or 3 tablespoons starting off. And then I'm going to leave my last tablespoon if I really need it. And then I'm going to stir this around. The cream cheese is going to start melting. The heavy whipping cream and the cream cheese are going to combine and make a thickening agent, which is going to make this creamy. Now if you want, as the heavy whipping cream and the cream cheese blends in with this mixture, it's going to come a little bit thick. And then from there, you're going to have your creamy spinach. Alright guys, so we're back. We're ready to meal prep, finish, complete. Alright, all in one sentence. Ooh, I think my camera's leaning. There we go. So off camera, I went ahead and did the meal prep. It is a cup of spinach and a 1/2 cup of roasted radishes. And if you can see, look how they look, guys. Look like roasted red potatoes. They're delicious. They taste good. Follow the recipe that I just gave you and you will fall in love with radishes over and over and over again. So I just went ahead and plated that up off camera. No need. And I'm just using these dividers pretty much to put the food in. So, you know, your 2 sides and your protein right here. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Now, what I want to show y'all is how this salmon looks. It looks delicious. It's pretty hot. And it only takes 5 to 6 minutes. I don't know where I was saying 10 minutes from. But it only takes 5 to 6 minutes. Now, I took a little piece because I needed to taste it. But look, that looks delicious. And then the sauce has reduced. And it's just inside the salmon. And it tastes good. So if you're not a fish person, you really don't like fish, or you don't know how to cook it, just follow this recipe that I gave you, and this is beautiful. Now I'm just going to show you how flaky this is. It's not overcooked. It has this color because it's not like the fresh fish, but it's very moist. And the flavor is to die for. So I'm going to do is just put 1 in each container, put the containers in the refrigerator, and voila. And you also can put a little bit of sauce, if you like, in the container with the fish. So if you rewarm this back up, you're not eating it today for dinner, or whatever the situation might be in your household, you can do that as well. And these are 3 ounces. Oops. And I might just finish picking off of this piece because I'm telling you, it is delicious. And then take your remaining sauce that you have and just pour a little bit in. Just pour a little bit. Over the fish. So you have a little glaze on top. And you're going to fall in love with this recipe that you're going to want it every time. I think I got all of them. Yeah. The longer you let this sit, the better the fish takes to the flavor and the heat, and it's delicious. So until next time, I want you to like, subscribe, join the Indulge with Dimples, and make sure you follow this recipe so you can have it for your meal prep or for dinner one day, and you'll love it. Alright guys, see you next time.